Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Code drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
I'd snack on it. Mike, how are you?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm well. What in the name of hell happened?
Oh, are we?
We're talking about Philip Burnell.
Oh, Mr. Burnell. Well, you
Yeah.
know, listen, it's all business. In business, it's all, you know, some things work, some things don't. I understand, you know. It's a lot of it's about timing and things. You know, not everything works out. Not everything works out right now. I mean, so, you know.
I know you're...
We had a good meeting. We had a good meeting. And a few good calls, and it just sounds like it's not going to be the time right now, so he's canceling. Obviously, I was a little disappointed, but, you know, worse things have happened to me.
Michael, did you get too close to the Snortex? Did you get too close? Did you get too close? I know you can't say too much and you're a professional, but did you start sniffing the smelly man on his phone that he was pulling Hogan's?
No. Phil is surprisingly, you know, compared to what people say, Phil actually smells, if not neutral, maybe I would say even smells good.
Oh, no, I'm sure. No, I'm sure he's very sniffable. I'm talking about, like, did you maybe like find out about the WWE stuff? I know you can't say.
No. Phil and I have a great relationship. We ended things on positive terms. And we're, you know, I have other projects I'm pursuing, but, you know, you never close a book in this type of thing with someone as interesting as Phil. The story and the documentary could only get more interesting down the road. So I'm gonna remain in touch with him. I'm sure there will be more and more interesting things emerging in his community. And I've got other stuff I'm moving to, but there's no hard feelings for Phil. And the door on my side remains open, you know, that's it. I mean,
so you're moving on from Phil for now. The project is canceled.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And you know, I think there's an interesting story, and it's not Phil, as much as you guys may want him not to be. I don't know who's on the call or whatever. Phil's not going anywhere. This man is a staple. He is an evergreen staple of the entertainment community. So
you don't think that people will eventually get bored of his shtick of begging?
No, it looks like it's just getting bigger and bigger every day. You know, I've never seen anything like as during my time in the Snortex or whatever they call it. I've never seen anything quite like that. I've never, you know, he'll be live, and then there's like 10 other channels live broadcasting his same thing.
Yeah.
That are getting, you know, it's like, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But it's interesting. I would love to be back into the Vortex or Snortex or whatever it's called, maybe later this year, maybe in many years, maybe in 5 years. But I'm not giving up on it entirely, but not everything works out, and I'll try again in the future. And if it never happens, it's one of those interesting things I did. I met with Phil. I met with his wife. It was a good meeting, and I'll always have that memory.
He'll assume, but the thing with him is that what I think with Phil, and again, you don't have to comment because I understand, is I think he thought it was going to be like a propaganda piece for him. I don't think, because I saw you. I mean, this is nothing a hidden secret. I saw you tried to get in contact with Derich. I said, like,
sure. I told Phil. I disagree. I think he was very aware from the beginning. I was very clear with him, as I would be with anybody in this type of situation. Like, hey, if I'm going to do this, it's going to show things that are funny. It's going to show things that are interesting. It's going to show things that are potentially negative. So he was bought into that. I think what happened, it was just not good timing. I mean, he had some other things going on that are personal, as well as, maybe the way it was portrayed into the public, how it was and when it was maybe not the best timing and everything. So, I mean, this happens.
Why would he sign on to begin with if it wasn't the best timing?
Sorry, do you mean that the fact that you announced it on this show, kind of, that He didn't like that.
No.
Okay.
I think just the nature of, there's so many people that feel so strongly about him that whenever you hear the word documentary, there's all these assumptions of what that could end up looking like, and the rumblings of what it will be versus what it is, and it just creates an environment where it's hard to stay productive and creative.
As a person who's followed Phil now for probably about a decade, if not more, this is his thing. It's never good timing. Whenever he was supposed to go on a podcast, he's done one, and it was disastrous for him. It's never good. It's always timing. It's either timing or to protect his family. Those are the two things that I usually see.
Those are important. You're talking about a man who he's dedicated. He sticks to a schedule.
We know.
He's not just going on things left and right, and that's why you want him so bad. So love him or hate him, the fact that he's not agreeing to everything is what makes the exclusive so exclusive, and that it almost builds the interest. So I can't blame him for being selective, for being discerning. I think it's an intelligent move. And I think that it makes you keep talking about him, and wanting to get whoever can get with him is even that much more interesting. So I get it. I would have loved to do it. I had a lot of fun things planned for it, but you can move on in life, and then you try again in the future.
Can you instead make a romantic film about his May 1st, 2016 experience?
That's not as much the genre I'm going for at this time. But I'm sure there's some audience for it. But I will say, I'll put it on record. Everything was done professionally. There was no, I didn't spend. I took a trip out, but that's the risks. These are the small hundreds of dollars of risk you take in any business thing. If you were buying a company or selling a company.
Yeah, of course. There's development costs.
People act like, oh my God, I spent months and months. It's like, yeah, but this happens. This is called business. You start things, you stop things. I
could have told you. I could have told you from, like, if you came to me, Mike, like saying, hey, I'd like to, do a documentary on DSP. I would have told you, been like, hey, you could try, but you probably.
Can we clear up a few things that are just going around that I'm sure you can just shut down instantly?
Sure.
One of them would be the idea that you would still do a DSP documentary without his consent.
No, I don't have any interest in that. There's plenty of those.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think he even said it. It's not the professional. I wouldn't ever want people to see me as like, oh, I have a subject, and then like I'm gonna blackball you.
Because then it's just basically. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just basically another video essay at that point.
Yeah, I'd be able to put some production value, do cool interviews, but that's just not the nature of how I would handle my business.
Yeah, so there's no shot that you would, there's stupid rumors going around that he signed a contract and you could hold it over his head and say, well, you have to do it now.
Yeah, there were some assholes out there trying to say to me on Twitter, some of his devout dent detractors, that it's still going to happen anyway, so stop. And they told me to eat a cucumber. I'm like, no, he's not going to do the documentary without Phil. Like, then he doesn't have access to a lot of different information. It's stupid.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. And I value my relationship with Phil, and I think it's fair to him, if there is going to be a documentary on him, that he would be heavily involved. So that if it does ever happen, that will be the terms in which I would do it.
All right, Mike.
One last thing just before you go. Do you want to talk about what you're doing next, or are you going to keep that under wraps?
No, you gotta
surprise people.
It will be exciting. I think if you are looking forward to the DSP doc, you will definitely look forward to this one
Nice.
and a few others. So I would say check out DSP Gaming. Tune in, become a member. Tip. He's a legendary content creator that lasted the test of time, 16 years and going. So I check out DSP Gaming. But that's all for me.
Yeah, no one begs like Phil. But thank you, Mike, for coming on. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your professionalism as well. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
got the drip going. I 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 got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.